जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा, जय प्रभुपदा। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल। श्री श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतशीर्ष मध्य डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। Yes, Prabhu.
Could you just give most of them, they know you, but I'll just briefly introduce you. So it's a great fortune to welcome amongst us His Grace RasaVigraha Prabhu, Dr. Rajesh Jalinkar. So Prabhuji, Jalnekar. Okay. So Prabhuji, as you all know, Prabhuji is director of VIT, one of the best college in Pune, and Prabhuji is like I will also share Prabhuji had a wonderful interview on Ek Mulaqat Krishna Bhakt ke Saath. So there, like, you can know more about Prabhuji. So Prabhuji has been serving in ISKCON from 1997, and like he is vice president from 2010, and he was the like chief coordinator of ISKCON NVCC project, which is 100 crore project. And Prabhuji also holds a very wonderful record, Guinness Book of Record, for a painting competition which was organized by ISKCON. And Prabhuji travels to various countries for both spiritual and academic purposes. So he has traveled to over 35 countries in Europe, US, Asia, etc. And like materially, so Prabhuji is like a director, and if you see, like, he has won many awards as a director. So he's like most influential director, and like VIT has grown leaps and bounds under the leadership of Prabhuji. And we know that there are many devotees who are working as professors in VIT, and like a lot of preaching is happening over there. He has 105 research papers under him, 91 patents, and there are many more things. So I'll keep it short. And I would just like to highlight few aspects. So when I like shifted to Pune 2 years back, so like Prabhuji, like I stay in Barsana, and Prabhuji just also stays in Barsana. So I was always like wanting to meet him, and I thought like Prabhuji is director and like it will be difficult to talk to him, etc. But like once I started knowing like Prabhuji is so jolly, and like he always plays with my son Braj Kishore, and like he's so down to earth, you won't believe that once you meet him. So it's like so approachable and so friendly, and like he's with everyone. So even though like so much qualified, Prabhuji is very like humble nature, like gives a lot of inspiration. And you all must be knowing that like Prabhuji comes like every day for Mangal Aarti, stands his 16 rounds over there in one go. And like when you hear his like Bhagavatam class in NVCC, and how Prabhuji speaks, like what should be a standard for a Grihastha regarding sadhana and chanting, like I personally feel like a bit scared, like it's so difficult to follow. So Prabhuji has been practicing this for many years. So he's great inspiration for all of us, how a Krishna conscious Grihastha should be. So it's a great fortune to hear from Prabhuji again. So let's welcome Prabhuji by loudly chanting Hari Bol, Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your kind words. And I understand that you are expecting a lot from me, and I will try to come to that standard. And that's the best way to tell others what standard you are expecting.
We are already for yes,
In his,
such a wonderful
in his
standard.
introduction, you just tell
Can't
them.
even, no, Prabhuji, you can't. We can't even imitate. So hi.
So thank you so much, Anuj Prabhu, and you, your family, your father, mother, your wife also, Mataji, and your Rajakishore. They are so much inspiration because you are always seen in the temple, and at such a young age, you have made your home, temple as your home.
So all blessings of Prabhupada and like
And
I'm
home, your home is also a temple. So the same thing should be true about all the devotees. I will just like to share my PPT. And
yes.
Just a minute, please give me a second. Huh?
Sure, Prabhuji.
So now we will chant the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्प तरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपा त्वमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणां जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरेर् नाम हरेर् नाम एव केवलं कलो नास्तेव 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 गतिरन्यथा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So thank you very much for attending this session, and there are around 1.5 hours. We'll have some question answers also, and I will try to make it more relevant to you. Most of the time we want very practical solutions, but bhakti is very practical. Sometimes it appears to us theoretical, not because it's theoretical, but we fail to relate with it. And because we fail to relate it with it, we divide these two things, practical and impractical. But all aspects of bhakti are practical. And Radhesham Prabhu, many a times you might have heard him saying that in the name of practicality, we cannot compromise.
yes, we do have to have some baby steps, but taking those baby steps doesn't mean that we are compromising. But we know the standards and we are aiming at those standards. But at present, we are not doing it. So, and I know you are all more learned, more intelligent, belong to the younger age group. So you are more experienced than me also. You took part in Krishna consciousness at a very early age. I was around 38 years when I started my Krishna conscious journey, but you started it at much younger age. So therefore you definitely have more advantage over me, and therefore I treat you as my Shiksha Gurus. But just because I am in a position, because of my number of years and my age, I've been given this opportunity to share my experience with you, or what I felt over this, because my age is 55 now, and this 25 years of Krishna conscious journey, and also my 55 years of journey as normal person. And incidentally, but due to my great fortune, I have been working in the leadership position since 25 years as well, 1997. So I have some advantage over you because of this number of years, and therefore I have been called. Otherwise, I am utterly unqualified to speak. So this topic, balancing Grihastha life, is a very, very important topic. And I was telling you that in my years of experiences, 25 years of experiences, both in the professional and in the spiritual world, I have understood that many things become very important to us, may not appear very relevant at some point of time, but ultimately they become very, very relevant. And if we can focus on them right from the beginning, we will have again a great advantage. Like our parents, I know, they used to tell that, keep your health, keep your schedule, keep exercising regularly, those small 15 minutes, 20 minutes, stretching, some gym, some Surya Namaskar, some jogging, some cardiac. But we didn't pay attention to that. And then at the age of 50, I realized that how important they are. And now I am practicing them, or I am following them, or doing them since last 5 years regularly. But if I would have listened to their advice earlier only, then I would have been a better situation. So similarly, the same thing is in Krishna consciousness. So I pray to all of you to bless me so that I can speak on this topic. And I also offer my obeisances to Prabhupada and seek his blessing to all my Shiksha Gurus, Diksha Guru, and all others to bless me. And especially I pray to Prabhupada to give his blessing to all the Grihasthas to balance their Grihastha life and not compromise on any of the aspects, either Grihastha life or the spiritual life. Because following Grihastha life is a very, very difficult task, especially for devotees in this particular age. We are into the deep Kali Yuga, and therefore it becomes very difficult further. I also request all the devotees to switch on their videos. It is very, very important that we switch on. Otherwise, a lot of multitasking happens, I know, because I also do that in my office meetings. So we should be focused, and there is absolutely no reason why we cannot switch on the videos. And Anuj Prabhu, I joined 3 minutes before 11, and Anuj Prabhu told me that devotees will join. So I'll crack a lot of jokes. Please don't take my, I am offending you or trying to be over smart in front of you. I'm not doing that, but I do crack jokes, and I do speak very light, in a lighter mood. So once I was telling to our group devotees, counseling group, because many of them joined late. So you can imagine that we are on the deathbed and we are crying for Krishna. Somehow or other, we are able to remember Krishna, and we cried, Krishna, Krishna, and Krishna comes later. in the Ajamila pastime, when Yamadutas came and they were taking Ajamil, Ajamil cried Narayan, Narayan. And at that time, suppose Vishnu Duta said, oh, जाएंगे अभी क्या है, अभी तो 2 मिनट, अभी तो पुकारा है, 10 मिनट बाद जाएंगे, थोड़ा ज्वाइन करेंगे, कीर्तन होने दो, कीर्तन के बाद ज्वाइन करेंगे. Then what would have happened? Once Radhanath Maharaj was giving a class long back, some maybe 30 years back, and no devotees were there during the kirtan. And Maharaj came and started giving his class. And Maharaj told that the kirtan is not for the purification of the speaker. It is for the purification of both the speaker and the audience. So the audience should be present right from 0 seconds. So it is very important that that is the first step towards Krishna consciousness, that we be punctual in our time. When we are attending satsang, we should be present always before the speaker. It's a, I'm not saying, again, I told you before only that I'm not abusing you or offending you or I'm trying to oversmart in front of you. I'm just telling you, it's a great offense to come after the speaker. Although I go to Bhagavatam class daily in the temple after the speaker, but it's a great offense. So based on the teachings of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So it is based on Srila Prabhupada's teaching. So these are some of the challenges we have. So this is staying with non-devotees. We have to do many tasks. In the temple, you find that often the brahmachari, if he is in the cooking department, he is dealing with cooking only. If he is in the management department, he is doing most of the time management. If he is the DT department, he is doing DT dressing only or DT seva only. He is a preacher, he is doing preaching only. But for a family man, he has to do everything. Who will bring the sabji? He himself will bring the sabji. Who will cook? They will only cook. Who would earn the money? They would earn the money. Who would do take care of the children? Everything we have to do. There is no department in the house that, you know, you have to do this, you have to do that, like that. Sabji in the temple, somebody else will bring. But here we have to bring the sabji. We have to bring the kirana, grocery, and so on. So sudden change from voice standards, because most of you may be from voice, and there the standards are different, and there's a sudden change. And also we most of the time try to benchmark with our brahmachari friends. Sorry for this, I don't know why it has happened. So we have to avoid that. And lastly, choosing a wife if we are single, and what to expect from her. These are some of the challenges, and we have done that at several other sessions, I am quite sure. And you may do that. One time, Shamru Prabhu called me for session for some boys. There were some 30-40 boys and who were about to get married. And he asked me many questions. They asked me also many questions at the end. One of the boy asked to whom I should marry. I told them many things, but one thing I told that कि उसकी गोदी में चुप कर आप रोने का भाव नहीं चाहिए. You should be able to cry in her lap. You should such a wife. If you have such a wife in your life, then that is the great success of the Grihastha marriage. Other things fall in line, but to have that, you know, affection for your wife and wife having affection for the husband is a very important aspect. Though we may claim it to be a bodily consciousness or bodily platform or material and so on, but having such a life partner who care, loves, and have affection for each other is a very great boon. And if we, even Prabhupada writes that having an initial attraction towards wife is a good impetus to start married life. It's a different ashram, but glorious It's a different ashram from Brahmachari ashram, but it is glorious. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a classic example for us to learn. So, Anuj Prabhu, shall I skip this part, or many of them are new also?
Prabhuji, you can ask, I'm not sure.
Yeah, shall I skip this part, or you have attended this session? I'm not sure. So please asking you.
Devotees can respond, like how many of you have attended this during the camp. So if most of you have attended, Prabhuji can skip. If you have attended, you can raise your hands or like ping in chat. And please ping who has not attended also. So we Yeah. So please put in chat so that we know how many are there who have not attended.
Mixed response.
Yes.
Okay, I will try to take it little fast. So Grihastha Ashram and is like a cricket match. In a cricket match, you have to play one-day cricket match. You have to play 50 overs. So in a 50-over match, when a batsman like Rohit Sharma, one of the very powerful player, he is successful simply because he is able to place his inning. Means initial few overs, there is slog overs, power play, not slog over, power play. He is smashing the ball all around. Then in the middle overs, he is just relying on ones and twos and making partnerships and building the inning. And in the last slog overs, last 10 overs, 15 overs, he's again slogging. So similarly, bhakti is like that. When we come to Krishna consciousness in the initial days, we are very enthusiastic, very energized and empowered also. Empowered also. And we have that initial taste because there is a drastic change from material sense, material taste to spiritual taste. So we are very energetic, enthusiastic, dynamic and energetic. And we do a lot of sevas, attend morning programs, very, very, very energetic, very, very enthusiastic. So that is our power play. But later on, when we go into married life and we have kids and then we have take responsibilities in the office also, there's a lot of pressure and then a lot of things come up and then balancing act has to be done properly. So these are the middle overs, which are the most boring over in cricket match. This 15 to 35, 40 overs are supposed to be the most boring. Nothing happens in most of the matches. So similarly, in the Grihastha life also, these middle overs are very, very critical overs. Sometimes the team loses the match by losing too many wickets, or sometimes they score so many runs and then score 400 plus, or it's a routine 25 overs. So same thing happens for Grihasthas also. Some Grihasthas, they move apart, they deviate from Krishna consciousness, they get caught up in, they get so much involved, engrossed in the material life, in the family life, so many responsibilities, not able to balance, and they get out. Or some become so energetic, again their enthusiasm is double because the wife is there and she's cooperating and somehow, but such examples are very rare. Like in cricket match also, scoring 400 plus runs is a very rare situation. But most of the Grihastha's life is that routine 25 overs. बस चल रहा है, गाड़ी चल रही है हमारी कैसी, तो लोग आ रहे लोग जा रहे, मॉर्निंग प्रोग्राम आते थे, बंद कर दिया, 16 माला खींच रहे, बस दिन भर में वही काम कर रहे 16 माला, और वो भी कोई स्टैंडर्ड से नहीं हो रहा है, बस 16 माला हो रहे, कभी हो रहे वो मत पूछो, लेकिन हो रहे, दैट इज द स्टैंडर्ड. This is about most of the Grihasthas. I do not know about the voice devotees going to the ashram much, but those with whom I am in touch, I know their stories like this only, even from Nityanand Sabha or from those who came to Krishna consciousness after being married. So this is what I told. And slog over is the last 50 overs, last 50 plus years, 50 plus years ke baad ka. So we therefore has to balance, and therefore we want to be successful. It is not that we want to be only become a great devotee. We also want to become great professional also, a great family man also. So we want to be successful. So a devotee who is in the professional world has to also become a great professional. Otherwise, one cannot quote his example. For example, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was not only a great devotee, but he was a great professional. And therefore, it is very appropriate for us to see him as a role model. Imagine if Bhaktivinoda Thakur would have been not or very average or below average in his career. Then people would, or a devotee is below average in his career, then people, what people will do? They will say that, ye Krishna conscious ki wajah se iska career chala gaya. So they have to be doubly sure and doubly ensure that their career becomes great. So that is the meaning of successful. We want to be successful professional. We want to be respected in the society. We want to become a great father and everything. At the same time, we want to be healthy because health has spoiled so many people's career, whether it is Hollywood, Bollywood, or it is Tollywood, or it is sports, or it is politics, or normal professionals also, managers, executive officers. Because of health, their career have been spoiled. And even devotees also, because of bad health at an early age, they are not able to do many good things. Many coming to morning program, coming for yatra, doing so many sevas. Schedule, hectic schedule, handling the hectic schedule becomes a very tough task. So health is also important. And at the same time, we want to be happy in Krishna consciousness. I think yesterday somebody was telling, Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu was telling that Chaitanya Charan Prabhu told that when Prabhupada told, chant and be happy. So he said that chant and be happy are not related. They are two independent phrases. You have to chant and at the same time, we have to be happy only. So the onus is on us to be happy. And it is not that chanting Hare Krishna will make us happy. Of course, the first thing which we know is also true. After chanting Hare Krishna, we do become happy. There is no doubt about it. But we have to remain happy because happy devotee is a great preacher. Me and Swatiti Prabhu, we had been very closely associated since last 25 years now. We are good friends also. And Swatiti Prabhu always tells me that, seeing both of us, of course, I am not into that category, but he tells that because we too, he saying, we too are so happy. So devotees, many ask, why are you so happy? So it gives a message that devotees are happy. So we should be happy always. And therefore, happy, how to derive this happiness, how to remain happy is another set of challenges. And we can do that also. There are 6 rasas in Ayurvedic. Our food should be balanced. There should be 6 rasas, we say. So I will go very fast here. So there should be a balance of these rasas. So amla should be, sour should be little bit, khatta, salty भी होना चाहिए, थोड़ा कड़वा भी होना चाहिए, थोड़ा तीखा भी होना चाहिए, थोड़ा काश्य यानी astringent भी होना चाहिए, थोड़ा sweet भी होना चाहिए. ये 6 taste they should be there in our daily life. Of course, there's a proportion. Somebody's salty is the major food, amla may be little, sweet may be very less, like that. So similarly, life has these 6 aspects. One is our personal life, which is very, very important. Then is our, just somebody has come, I will just give me to me. I'm only at home. So life. So it is important to, pay attention to our personal life as an individual, our health and recreation. There are many aspects in this also. Then our family life, giving time to our wife, to our children, to our parents, to our other family relatives, and so on. Then we have to be also pay attention to our professional life. We cannot neglect that. We need to do continuous study, climb the success ladder in the organization, portray a good image of oneself, individual, as well as a Krishna conscious devotee. We should command respect there also. In culture also, we should follow our culture. It is not that we are out of the world. We are a part of this world. So our language, our food, our region, our hobbies, our health, our hobbies means the music, art, dance, everything we have to cultivate. And our resume should be multidimensional and not only one-dimensional. Then social, we being a part of the society, we have to give something to the society. Of course, we can give Krishna consciousness. That is the best thing we can do. And lastly, the spiritual life. So in the social, we cannot keep ourselves away from the society, saying that these are all in Maya and we are the only one who are great. We have to be a part of the society and we have to mix with them also. Like water, that Padma Patra Ivam Basa, like a water on the lotus leaf. And spirituality. So what is the meaning of balancing our life? Balancing our life doesn't simply mean that how can I find time for my chanting in my professional life? That is not the only balancing life. Sometimes devotees think that balancing life means how to find time for yatra. Balancing life means balancing the six aspects of life. Are you growing as an individual? Are your family members happy with you? Is your mother happy with you? Is your father, sister, brother, cousins, relatives happy with you? Do they held you in a very high position? Is your office happy with you? Do you cultivate these other talents in you? Do you pay to the society? Not only Krishna consciousness, but there are many ways. And of course, spirituality also, there are many aspects which we have to balance. That will come later. So, scoring very high marks in spirituality does not give us right to fail in the family life. In a semester, there are 5 subjects: physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, and drawing. So if I score 100 out of 100 in mathematics and fail in drawing, the teacher will not pass me by giving 40 marks from mathematics in drawing. I have to separately pass drawing. So similarly, I have to pay attention to my family life also. There are so many issues in Krishna conscious family life these days. Of course, Anuj Prabhu is one of the great example. I see him. I know many of you also, but because he is the host today, so I am quoting his example. And you know, because you are in the professional world, you understand what is this professional, how much challenges you have and what challenges you have. This is also the most neglected aspect of Krishna conscious devotees, the social life. So I said that add salt to the food, which is the taste of the food. So similarly, add spirituality. This is for material problems and spiritual solutions. So I started my Krishna consciousness with the understanding that no matter whatever is your material problem, whether in your personal life, in your family life, in your professional life, in your social life, in your cultural life, the solution is spirituality. If you have a fight with wife, the solution is spirituality and not marriage counseling. But some recent years, people have started believing that material problems and material solutions. Yes, they may be true for a short term, but long term, material problems and spiritual solution. So I used to take this session long back, 10 years back. I have taken one program in temple also, Bhagavatam class only. Life is like a chariot, and there are 6 wheels to these chariots. One is, or say 4 wheels and one in the front. The wheel in the front is our spiritual life. If that wheel is not moving, the entire rath is not moving. One wheel is the professional life, another wheel is the social life. Then the back 2 wheels are the social or the cultural life, and this is the family and personal life. So these 4 wheels have to be balanced. If one of the wheel is not running at the speed as expected, then your chariot will not move ahead. So similarly, one should balance the 6 wheels of your life. And that can be only done by strengthening our spiritual practices and paying the need-based attention to all the other aspects of life. So one of the very important, it may sound to you that, oh, Prabhuji, this is very, very simple and very routine. But we have to be a part of the counseling system. Very, very important that we always have a shelter. And when we say counseling system, it means we have to be a great counselor. Counselee. We have to be a great counselee. How? We'll see. I have seen many devotees, when they become counselor, they feel that there is no need of a counselor for them. I do not know what is your status at present, but I am telling you because this will come in future in your life. So like becoming a guru does not mean that we don't want a guru, but having a counselor in your life is such a great thing. If your counselor is such a person who is catching hold of your ears, karnadhar, then we should immediately accept that person as a counselor. Anybody who is pointing out your mistakes, such a person should be there in a life, and that is the meaning of counseling. And what are the roles of counseling system, or what is the duty of counseling system? Develop relation amongst devotees, ensure proper sadhana standards, then training in Krishna consciousness, then personal care and love from the counselor and the co-counselees, and allot sevas in temple and pass on messages from the temple. These are the 5 main reasons why we have counseling system in place. So now Guru, here when I say Guru, I am talking of the counselor. It also means our Shiksha Guru, our temple president, our temple authorities, our Seva authority, our Diksha Guru, all our Shiksha Gurus and Prabhupada and the Parampara. So the Guru's duty is to find fault with the disciple. And this is very, ever since I have realized that Guru means that person who is going to find fault with me, my spiritual life has changed. I was in the counseling system since 1998, and I had such a powerful counselor, Jaidev Prabhu, one of the great devotee I have seen in my life, Grihastha devotee, such a wonderful person. So he was my counselor. I was very fortunate. But I could understand the importance of counseling system only when I realized that Guru means who can find fault with me. Of course, some glorification is required to inspire the devotee, but basically he has to find fault. And I will give you 2 quick examples. You know that this Narad Muni and Vyasdev example, Vyasdev wrote all the literatures, Upanishad, Puran and Samhitas and so many things, but he was still not happy. Narad Muni appears on the scene, and Narad Muni, he asked Narad Muni why it is so, and Narad Muni instructs him that you have written so many things, but only Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. You have not touched upon the Krishna consciousness aspect. You know better, you know it, but you didn't mention it, didn't tell the glories of Krishna Lila, and you misuse your time, and therefore you are not happy. So Narad Muni immediately found fault with Vyasdev, and Vyasdev followed this, and therefore he wrote Bhagavad Puran. So we should have a guru who should tell us, you are not coming for Aarti, you are not chanting properly, you are not doing sevas. How is your sadhana? Tell me, let me know. How is that? So this is a very important aspect. And who will give that confidence? How to find such a counselor who will find fault? Can anybody tell me? What is the secret for this? How to find such a counselor who will find fault in you, or how to find a Shiksha Guru or a Seva Guru, whatever. It is not the counselor who will find fault with us. It is we who give confidence to the counselor that you can find fault with me. It is not only that I tell him, but I will give him the confidence. If somebody corrects me and I react violently, offensively, then nobody will dare. Even Radheshyam Prabhu will not dare. Even your Guru will not dare to find fault with us. So, and even our junior counselee, if he can also find fault with us, and if we are very receptive, very open, then we can be very successful in our spiritual life. Of course, even I cannot do that. But this is a very important aspect, that it is the counselee who makes a person counselor. It is not that the counselor will tell you are my counselee, but it is the counselee who will tell that you are my counselor. And therefore, in the Grihastha life, the most important aspect is that you must be in touch with a person who has high standards of sadhana, high standards of spirituality, and who is a very successful person in all walks of life. He is a very successful person. And such a person can guide you and find fault with you. Find fault means he will tell you many, many challenges. He will tell you, give you new challenges. And you are the one who is going to give that confidence to that person. If you can do that, the rest of your life is a very simple ride. It's a very, very simple ride. Why we face challenges in our spiritual life and family life and in general our life is that we fail to find such a counselor. There are so many counselors around. We fail to find a counselor means there are so many good counselors around. But because we don't become a good counselee, he doesn't become a good counselor for me. That is the aspect. That is the main point. So here Narad Muni, when he told Vyasdev, would have done, he can tell, oh, why are you don't understand how much I have written and you are finding fault with me. How can you say that you don't appreciate my like this? Of course, appreciation is required. We should be appreciated, but always getting appreciation and not getting correction is not a good sign for anybody, for big organization, for people like presidents and kings, big kshatriyas, as well as a small peon also. We need appreciation, but we need correction also. So according to me, this is the most important aspect of Grihastha life. If we can do that, even Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was there and Prabhupada met him first time, and his guru gave him order that preach in the Western world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Prabhupada was surprised. He doesn't know me and he is giving me the life mission. People ask Chanda, but this person is giving me life mission. Prabhupada argued that India is under British Raj and our first and prime duty is to fight for liberation, our freedom. Who will listen our message? Who will listen the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna? So first let us come together and fight for our freedom, and then we can preach. So this was Prabhupada's understanding, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur first meeting itself found fault with Prabhupada. He said, Krishna consciousness cannot wait. If Krishna consciousness cannot wait for any political situation to change, it's an emergency. Leaders will come, kings will come, politicians will come, rules will come, parties will come and go. But Krishna consciousness is an emergency. And Prabhupada immediately accepted. And that becomes Prabhupada's life mission. So such a guru Prabhupada got. And Prabhupada made it his life mission. So here is another example. Guru is telling, sometimes Guru takes the bold step of correcting the disciple. Prabhupada never met Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So there was no concept of Prabhupada giving him the confidence to tell boldly and find fault with him. But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur took the step to tell Prabhupada something, and Prabhupada immediately accepted it. Immediately accepted. So we should, if Prabhupada said that even I find my duty is to find fault with you, he used to tell his disciple. And such a guru is extremely rare, and we are very fortunate if we have such a counselor or a guru in our life. Guru in ISKCON is a very remote person. My guru is, for example, Radhanath Maharaj is my guru. So I hardly meet him. I met him 10-15 times. Otherwise, I am just hearing him. No, he will not know what is my personal life and how he can correct me then. So I should find a local counselor who sees me in the temple. My counselor cannot be in Mumbai also. My counselor cannot be in Chennai also. My own counselor, the formal counselor can be there, but I need to have a guru, a Shiksha guru who is local, and give him the right. Give him the right. The local person should be there always. Sometimes, I have some counselors who move to Bangalore, some move to London, some is in Australia, some is in US, some is in Chennai. They are in connect with me, but I always advise them, take a guru, Shiksha guru, I mean, or a counselor. I am there, no doubt, because we have connection and we want to continue that relationship. But you should have a local person to whom you should give authority, that he will ask you, you are not coming for Arati. How do I know that he is not coming unless he tells me? And there should be a local person who should guide him. So such a thing is very rare, very rare. If Guru's duty is to find fault with disciples, then what is the disciple's duty? To accept that fault. If you argue with the counselor or the Guru that you do not know my problems, Prabhu, and I have so many problems, and how can you expect this from me? Then that whole thing is spoiled. We cannot move ahead. So we have to accept our fault. Like Prabhupada accepted the fault. Vyasdev ji accepted the fault. They are great personalities. Vyasdev is incarnation of Krishna himself. He is the author of so many great books, and he is accepting his fault in front of his Guru. Imagine if Vasudev would have otherwise done, then where would have been the Bhagavatam for us? If Prabhupada had not taken his Guru's mission as his life and soul, and would have thought that serving the country is the main mission, then आज हम यही नहीं होते, हम यहाँ होते ही नहीं आज. So these great personalities have accepted fault. Why? Because they want to demonstrate to us they are beyond these faults actually. But Prabhupada is arguing on behalf of us to show us that how to accept gurus. So these two also accepted, so we should also accept. And there are many examples, even Rup and Sanatan, they did like this. And next is that disciple should think himself fool in front of the guru. So I am coming again to counselor. When I say guru, it includes everybody. Our Prabhupada, who is prominent Shiksha Guru, our Parampara, our Diksha Guru, our prominent Shiksha Gurus here in the society, our temple president, our temple board, our temple authorities, our Seva authorities, our counselor, and anyone who is our close friend and who is our well-wisher. I'm including everybody in the Guru. Himself fool. And we know this very, very famous pastime of Lord Chaitanya in front of Prakashanand Saraswati, when Mahaprabhu was criticized for being a sentimental, doing kirtan in the streets of Varanasi. And this Prakashanand Saraswati would look down upon Mahaprabhu as a Vaishnava saint and not studying Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. So one Brahman from Maharashtra was a great devotee of the Lord, and he felt very bad. And he reported to Mahaprabhu and then invited all of them for prasadam at his home. And then there they had discussion. And in that discussion, Prakashanand Saraswati asked him, why don't you study Vedanta? And you only are seen chanting on the streets emotionally, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, dancing. You are young sannyasi and you should study Vedanta. That time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, this is a very famous shloka, that Prabhu kahe suno Shripad ihara karana, Guru mora murkha dekhi karila shasana. मूर्ख तुम्ही तोमार नाही का वेदांत अधिकार, कृष्ण मंत्र जप सदा एई मंत्र सार, कृष्ण मंत्र हैते हबे संसार मोचन, कृष्ण नाम हैते पावे कृष्णेर चरण, नाम विनु कली काले नाही यार धर्म, सर्व मंत्र सार नाम एई शास्त्र मर्म. So here he is saying that my guru said you are a fool, and Mahaprabhu accepted it. He said you don't have any right to study Vedanta. You should simply chant Hare Krishna, because that is the Yuga Dharma. And he also quoted, Mahaprabhu used to quote this Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalo nasteva 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 gatiranyata. Because we should also hear some katha. That's why I'm adding this, not only just messages and practical applications. Any tip which is of practical application without Krishna katha will not work. So he says, on the order of my spiritual master, I chant the holy name of Hari. And by chanting, I become mad. I dance. Sometimes I cry. Sometimes I laugh. And sometimes I forget myself. And when I reported my guru said, this is the real effect of chanting. And this is a transcendental emotion. These are not ordinary emotions. You are crying, dancing, laughing, forgetting yourself, becoming mad. And it's a rare manifestation. And these are the symptoms of love of Godhead. And this is the ultimate goal of life. So when Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, accepted his fault in front of Guru, that Guru told this, and then he manifested love of God. So here onward, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started manifesting the symptoms of love of God, not before this. So even Krishna himself is accepting himself full in front of his Guru. So we should behave in front of our senior devotees and not, I mean to say, strategically, but really humbly. Because many times I at least behave very strategically, humbly in front of my seniors, so that they will think, oh, such a humble devotee. But we should not be strategically behaving, but by humbly, really, honestly. So if this happens, then we can move towards the ultimate goal of life, which is love of Krishna. And these are the 4 types of people we know, that they are intelligent, but they do not know. Sorry, they're intelligent and they know that they are intelligent. Just reward them, just glorify them. There are people who are intelligent but don't know that they are intelligent. Just inspire them. Like in the case of Hanumanji, Jambavantji inspired him because Hanuman forgot that he can jump over the ocean. Hanuman didn't fly, he jumped, because he's a monkey, he cannot fly. He jumped over the ocean, but he forgot that he can jump such a long distance. And Jambavanji, reminded him and inspired him to, because he didn't knew that he can jump. Third is, they are not intelligent and they know that they are not intelligent. So just leave them, that's all, and preach them. But the fourth category is very, very dangerous. Not intelligent, but thinks that they are intelligent. And we can apply this rule for anything. Those who are not beautiful, but thinks that they are beautiful, nobody can correct them. Those who think that I am a great devotee, but he is not a great devotee, is a problem. Those who think that I am humble, but he is not a humble, nobody can correct them. And we can find that sometimes we are not humble, but we think that we are humble, and devotees are correcting us, and we say that he is envious of me. At least I feel like that. I feel that this devotee is correcting me and saying that you are not humble. Ye envious hai, dvesh kar raha hai mera. So we should understand that, are we not behaving in the fourth category in front of our counselors, in front of our gurus? A very important aspect. So everybody is behavior of them. Nobody will touch them. Nobody will correct them. Nobody. They will eventually become like very, very senior, very, very big devotees. Everybody knows that there is some scope for correction in them, but nobody will correct them because they will not take it that way. And if you don't take it that way, then slowly, Grihastha life, things becomes a routine, mechanical matter, and we are lost. If sadhana is right, if we have a guide in our life, that is the way, the most important aspect of Krishna consciousness is to have a guide. And all Prabhupada's disciples today, Giriraj Maharaj gave class, and there how he was reading from his own book, and how Prabhupada was saying one particular sentence he read, it touched my heart. He was arguing with one Ramakrishnan person. That person was telling that Shiva is superior, and Maharaj was telling Krishna is superior. And their argument continued for long. Then Giriraj Maharaj said that, he said that my guru Prabhupada is coming to Chennai in 15 days. So why don't we go to him and discuss with him? This person accepted. So this line, the way Maharaj wrote it, drafted it, it touched me. I was moved by this. So here Maharaj is there, he said again that, I thought that I should introduce this person to Prabhupada, such a pure devotee, and Prabhupada will take care of him. So this is such a faith he had in Prabhupada, Giriraj Maharaj. And such a, if I develop even 1%, then our life would be really successful. So this is a very important aspect. And I will tell you that please engrave this in your heart, that you should have a reporting authority. And that reporting authority should be correcting authority. Karnadhar means kaan pakadne wala hona chahiye. And Prabhupada used to say that if devotee thinks himself, why Prabhupada is stretching so much on this? Why Prabhupada is doing? We fail to understand. At least I failed to understand it for long. And I thought that Krishna conscious practical life means wife को कहाँ घुमाने लेके जाना है, kitchen में कैसा division करना है, मैं बर्तन मांजूंगा तो कपड़े धो. This is not. This is, you understand much better than anybody else. And there are so many other aspects. We think that, that is the meaning of balancing. Mangal Aarti kid hai to kaise aana hai, kya aana hai. Best thing is that we accept a guru, let him correct me. I accept him as if I am a fool, and I should not think that I am more advanced than him. And you will be surprised that sometimes, at least I think more advanced than my counselor. So if that is there, everything is spoiled. And if he acts independently, if one acts independently of the counselor, he says, I don't need a counselor. Radheshyam Prabhu is very, very concerned about this aspect, that we are becoming islands, separate islands. Devotee, counseling group, counselors, separate islands. We are not. So there is something called as credibility and visibility. Our credibility may be there, but if it is not visible to the devotees, how devotee will believe us? So this Radhesham Prabhu, if you hear his lecture, he's saying exactly the same thing what Prabhupada was said 50 years back. If we think ourselves more advanced than Guru and act independently, he stops his spiritual progress. And are we doing this? Every one of us doing it. As Prabhupada told about Mayavadis. 900 once Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, he was in Pune Yatra and we were also in Pune Yatra. He said, all Indians are Mayavadis. You scratch a bit, externally they appear Vaishnavas, but you scratch a little bit, internally they are Mayavadis. So similarly, externally we appear to be, dependent on our Guru. We appear to be very, very humble and other thing. We scratch ourselves a little bit, and then the real nature appears that we want to really act independently. We do not want anybody's control over this. And big devotees after 20, 30 years also have behaved like this. And we somehow tend to, I'm telling about myself. I'm on all these cases, example is me only. So by default, the default setting is me only. So, and we have spoiled our spiritual life. This is equally true for brahmacharis. This is equally true for sannyasis. But I am telling today only of grihasthas. Grihasthas के लिए तो ये सबसे बड़ा पॉइंट है. एक अच्छा काउंसलर पकड़ो, एक शिक्षा गुरु पकड़ो जिसको आप रिपोर्टिंग करोगे और उसको पूरे अधिकार दे दोगे आप. Of course, he will not be a person who will correct you in a smaller thing and discourage you. Of course, he will not do that. He will correct you and you follow him. He is correcting and we are giving excuses. No, Prabhuji, you don't understand. Aisa ho raha hai, waisa ho raha hai. He will give practical solutions, and that practical solution is on one-to-one basis. There cannot be a lecture for practical tips. Practical tip has to be one-to-one, depending on the situation. Like a doctor, if there is a cough, if you open Google, the general cough, they go up to TB only. For small symptom, they go up to cancer, TB, heart attack, liver failure, kidney failure, everything failure. But when you go to a doctor, he knows what is the exact cause. So it's a personalized. So doctor is a counselor, personalized counselor. So similarly, there are certain general principles and personalized application of those principles through a counselor. So this is the most important thing in spiritual life. If I have not emphasized this, then it's my failure. If you have your own opinion, you will never understand Gita. And I was telling about Radhesham Prabhu, he is expressing this concern in his lectures everywhere, maybe in different words, but he is saying the same. Why he is telling? Why he had started this mentor system from Brahmachari to the Grihasthas. Some of you may remember that we were counselors, 30, 40 counselors, and he allotted one Brahmachari as the mentor for 5, 6 counselors. Then he insists that one counselor should go to the other counselor's meeting and attend the meeting. We also feel that the counselor is not of the counselor, but he is the counselor board, and so on. Why we are given opportunity to change the counselor? This is simply because of this. Simply because of this. What is real suffering or lamentation? So this I will just go quickly. Having not good health? No, that is not. Having good, not so much financially strong? No, that is not the real shock of life. Having issue with interpersonal relationship with our wife, our parents? No, that is not the great lamentation. There are some social issues, the discrimination, racism, not getting promotion in office? No, that's not the issue. Some political issue, BJP government is not there in this state, my state or country. No, that is not the issue. Death of near and dear ones, that is not an issue. What is the real lamentation, shoka in life? The real lamentation, shock in life is that what is worthy of lamentation. Shankaracharya said that Punarapi maranam puranapi jananam sajananam punarapi maranam punarapi janani jatare shayanam. That we have to take repeatedly birth after birth after birth after birth, old age, disease and death. And we are not serious about it. We are not serious about spiritual life is the main lamentation in life. If somebody family members dies, that is not a great cause of lamentation. Krishna is not rude when Krishna is saying that Bhima and Drona will die. But Krishna is stressing that if you do not make them devotees, that is the great cause of lamentation. So here he is saying that Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, we could not relieve our near and dear ones from this cycle of birth, old age, disease, and death is the real cause of lamentation. And this should give us some compassion for our family members, to the society. And you know this famous shloka, Guru na sasyat, that we cannot become a father, mother, brother, spiritual master, or our Kula Devata. Anybody we cannot become if we do not save our dependents from the cycle of birth and death by connecting them to Krishna. So this part, this is a very important, that when we are in the ashram, our main purpose is to give to our family, our wife, mother, parents, and our kids Krishna consciousness. But that is not that there is a plate and we serve Krishna consciousness in that plate and give to our family members. It's not like that. We have to give them so slowly, in such a way that they will accept it. We have to take years to talk to our wife, to develop relationship with our wife, take a humble position in front of wife. Of course, there may be some personal challenges that wife becomes more arrogant and so on. But we have to keep this in mind, that we are into this family life because we cannot be in the ashram for various reasons. And another thing is the responsibility is to make our dependent our devotees. Now coming to this verse from 2.11, say Bhagavan Uvacha, Ashochan Anvashochastvam Pradnyavadam Shabhashase Gata Suna Gata Sunsha Nanu Shochanti Panditaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, by speaking learned words, you are mourning for what that is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. So here Krishna is dismantling the misconception of Arjuna. So here, immediately when Krishna did it, not in the first shloka, Arjuna was speaking in the first chapter and expressing his opinion only. Like Prabhupada told that if you have your own opinion, you can never understand Gita. And Arjuna had his own opinion in the first chapter. So Krishna never spoke any word of Bhagavad Gita, the message. But when Arjuna told that I am your disciple, please instruct me, then only Krishna became the Guru. So I was telling that counselor is not, even Krishna is not our Guru if we do not accept him as Guru. And Arjuna was not accepting him as the Guru. So Arjuna was thinking himself intelligent on the basis of material knowledge. So if we think that I have so many skills, I can sing nicely, I can give nice lecture, I can do so much of DT dressing, I can cook, I can manage things properly. So once me and Jaydev Prabhu were discussing, what respect I get, do I get for my spiritual qualities or for my managerial skills? And if you confuse these two, then our life is spoiled. If I think that I am being respected because of my high position in the society, and I feel that I am a great devotee, therefore, or I sing beautiful kirtan, and therefore people respect me, devotee respect me, therefore I am a great devotee, then I am making a mistake. So this was happening with Arjuna. Prabhupada said, foolish persons think themselves intelligent on the basis of material knowledge. Of course, doing kirtan is not material knowledge, definitely. But sometimes a sweet singer is considered to have a good bhava. And a not so good singer is supposed to have, I consider that not uska bhav hi nahi hai, kya ga raha hai, besura ga raha hai, to usme koi bhav nahi hai. Ye dekho kitna madhur ga raha hai, to uska bhav hai. So we should not think about others like that, but we should think about ourselves. Are people respecting me because of my skills or my Krishna consciousness? So Arjuna was thinking that he is great because he has material knowledge. And therefore, Arjuna was called foolish. Why? He may be material learned, but spiritually he is a fool. So how to become spiritually not fool? And the simple answer is to accept a Guru. And again, Guru, I repeat, Guru means from Prabhupada to our Seva authority, our seniors, anybody. This is a very important aspect. Again, the next aspect is after this, after Guru, is that we start respecting our devotees. And many of the devotees are thrown. I have a personal example, personal, very, very personal. I cannot share the details with you, but very personal example. We are practicing Krishna consciousness so wonderfully, but we offend devotees. When we offend devotees, we see, kya ye bhakta pada dhuli, yara bhakta pada jal, bhakta bhukta avashesha tina mahabal. We have heard this so many times. We have heard this from Bhagavatam. We read Prabhupada books every now and then. Devotee quotes this shloka. They speak on this. But unless we have an experience in life, when one of my very close friend in Krishna consciousness, you may know him or may not know him. He is there in the moment since 26 years. His name is Vijay Chaitanya Prabhu. You may see him serving in the, he's serving in charge, transfer in charge, I think. He is always there. So it was in 97, 98. He got initiated in 2000. I got initiated in 2001. So Vijay Chaitanya Prabhu is senior to me, Vivek Ramakrishnan. So just to tell about him, 2-3 important aspects. He started chanting 16 rounds from within 1 hour of preaching. He was preached by his younger brother, because younger brother was in 3rd year in college, and some wise devotee came, gave him the mala, and he chanted there 1 round, and he took the mala home. His brother saw this mala, this Prabhuji, and he asked him, what is this? He told, we have to chant. He said, how many rounds we have to chant? He said, they chant 16 rounds. So he started chanting 16 rounds within 1 hour of his preaching. He had mastered Chaitanya Charitamrut by 2000 only. He could quote Chaitanya Charitamrut stories from first page of Adi Lila, first chapter, to Anta Lila, last chapter, last verse. And he's serving this prasadam for ages. Ever since I know him, he's in the prasad serving. So he was telling me he was my, no, we don't associate with each other, but still we are good friends. He told me, in your life, you will understand Krishna consciousness only when you are held responsible for the mistake you have never made in life. Very, very life-changing, I mean to say, situation. Not simple situation. You eat 2 rasgullas and somebody said you have eaten 4 rasgullas. I'm not talking of that. So why? So that is the life-changing moment in your life. And such situation and other aspect of this is that when we offend devotees, which devotee? Any devotee, anyone devotee. And when Krishna is taking you seriously, he will punish you. And when Krishna is not taking seriously, he will never punish us, and our offenses will increase. But by my great fortune, I realized my mistake of offending devotees. In all the example, I am quoting my examples only. So, very important thing for Grihastha life is never judge or offend any devotee. Any devotee. If we do that, then we may see that I fail in balancing my life, but it is not the balance which we have failed in. We have failed in balancing the life because of offending the devotee, and not because I had lack of knowledge. Or that it is not that I was not aware of it. That's not the reason. That's never the reason. The reason is offending devotee. At initial stage, these offenses may not count, but at the serious stage, at the elevated stage, it counts. Like, for example, if there is some serious disease, like say jaundice, and if we drink oily or eat oily food, it does not show in the symptoms. But when the jaundice is at an advanced stage, even if you eat 1 drop of oil, the symptoms manifest immediately. The same thing is true about TB, cancer, everything. Many a time the cancer remains dormant for 5 years. And suddenly one day devotee complains something, and devotee means the person complains something, the doctor does the diagnosis and realizes that the cancer is in the terminal stage. The same thing happens in a Vaishnava Prad. We are offending devotees, so many things we are doing. nothing gets reflected in our life, and we think that as if we are advancing, and therefore I am not doing any offense, or wrong impression that nothing happens and I am right because I am correcting devotees. We may not consciously or unconsciously think like this, but certainly we know that we are doing like this. We think that we are right. And suddenly one day, like the terminal cancer, it is detected. And we are thrown out of Krishna consciousness or fall down from our standards. This is like the titration experience we had. No? I did some chemistry experience. Tip, 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 tip. The drops are falling down and the color is not changing. And suddenly after one drop, the color changes. So similarly, these offenses, when Krishna takes us seriously, he takes our offenses seriously. Otherwise, they are parked somewhere. And he will reciprocate with your offenses only when he takes you seriously. So this is a very important aspect. Devotees fail to do everything, not because there is lack of knowledge, lack of training, or lack of this, that, this. Because we have offended some devotee. Sometimes the problem with your wife is serious, the interpersonal relationship with the wife. Many a times it may not be really that you have failed to develop interpersonal relationship with your wife. Of course, it is not always true. Without offending devotee, one is not serious in Krishna consciousness, then only he may have a fight with wife. But for a devotee, you have to take care that sometimes these simple problems that come in your profession, that come in the family life, in your social life, in your spiritual life, everybody, personal life, personal health, everything. Find out the root cause. The root cause may not be what you think. The root cause may be offenses against a devotee. And therefore, Grihasthas, they are faced with so many challenges, One has to very, very careful about offending devotees. Very, very careful. And if this is taken care of, most of the problem, I'm not saying that, without getting training and without doing some practical things, we will be successful. But I mean to say, this is the root. If this is not taken care of, nothing will work. And even if everything is working smoothly, suddenly everything will collapse. Everything will collapse, completely collapse. You can see that, sometimes I'm telling my personal example, but you can see many other devotees, why they have suddenly lost taste in Krishna consciousness, maybe because of offending devotees. And therefore, if we don't want to offend, then what we should do? And it's, dadati pratigurunati guhyam akhyati pruchati bhungte bhojayate chaiva shadvidham priti lakshanam, that we should be lovingly, we should deal with devotee. Invite, make it a rule that you invite some devotee regularly at your place, by turn, this, that counselor, this person, that person, and give confidence to your counselor also that I am friend with everyone, I am taking advice, counseling, guidance from everyone, but accountability is for you. My accountability is for you, oh my guru, but I am taking guidance and inspiration from many. So this loving exchanges you should have, they will help you a great way, because those devotees are there. There are many classic examples that devotee has not maintained his standard throughout his life, but suddenly some devotee comes at the time of death and reminds him of Krishna. Because this works. The formula for spiritual success is not like material thing. Material thing formula is very simple. You have good IQ, you get good marks. You study hard, you get good marks. That's all. There are so many other formulas also. There are some models. This is a very, very simple model. We call it the linear model. Linear model means there is a black box and the equation of that black box is y is equal to mx plus c. So m is constant, c is constant, x is there. Depending on x, you get the y output. You put the value of x and you calculate the value of y. And then the line curve, it fits into that line curve. This is called as a very standard model, linear model. But bhakti is not linear model. Material life is linear model. You drink something that is not good, a polluted food, and you get a stomach upset tomorrow. This is a very, very linear model with some exception, outliers, some points lie outside the line. But in bhakti, it's a very complicated model. The input and outputs are not related by a simple relation y is equal to mx plus c. They are not also related by quadratic equation y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. They are also not equated by polynomial y is equal to axn plus b axn minus 1 plus cx my n minus 2, like that. They are also not related. They are related by a transcendental equation. Transcendental equation means no solution can be found out. For no value of x, y, z variables, you get the y, the other y. It's a very complicated model. It cannot be mathematically modeled. How you want advance in Krishna consciousness? So that are not standard, like material things. But what is the standard? Standard is this, what we are discussing. Accept Guru wholeheartedly. Never offend devotees and develop loving relationship with devotees. Devotees don't advance in Krishna consciousness because they fail to do these three things. And this is a different model. This is a different equation between the input and output. Then you put whatever efforts, those efforts will magnify and give you outcomes, your advancement in Krishna consciousness. Then strong sadhana. Strong sadhana is very, very important. What is the meaning of strong sadhana? So let us do very, very simple way. I just take 5-10 minutes more. Reading books. Prabhupada said 2 hours standard. So I don't know whether you can read 2 hours, finding your schedule, you may try to do that. But somehow or other you have to find time. And my, again, experience is that if we are not reading Prabhupada books, we are going down. For that, it is very sure. It is very, very sure. Another strength we derive, as I told you, 3 important points. The other strength I derive, or everybody derive, what is the formula for success in spiritual life is read Prabhupada books, and only Prabhupada books. Not required to read any other books. Of course, Prabhupada disciples are included when we say Prabhupada. So reading Prabhupada books for 2 hours or at least close to 2 hours is the success. And you see the successful devotees, they read Prabhupada books, like Radhesham Prabhu. They read books. So if we are not reading Prabhupada books, we are falling. An important aspect of our spiritual life. This is as a personal time with Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is personally talking us. When Prabhupada is saying, you fools, he is telling to us, you fool. He is not telling to any Mayavadi. Srila Prabhupada is personally preaching, talking and discussing with us. In fact, reading is more important than hearing. And if you cannot do 2 hours, start with 15 minutes. Maintain consistency. And I followed this rule. If I miss today's reading, I cover up it tomorrow. Otherwise, if I don't cover tomorrow, then I start leaving reading sessions, missing reading sessions. आज अगर 15 मिनट का मेरा सेशन है, 15 मिनट का मेरा स्टैंडर्ड है, आज 15 मिनट नहीं पढ़ पाया तो कल आधा घंटा पढ़ना है, कल भी नहीं हुआ तो 45 मिनट्स, परसों भी नहीं हुआ तो 1 hour. Then I understand what is the load. नहीं तो क्या होता है, आज का पढ़ा गया, आज का दिन गया, बात गई, रात गई, दिन गया, तो कल क्या है, फिर I start missing. So then similarly hearing 2 hours. All rules of hearing are applicable to reading. Reading are applicable to hearing also. Here, pre-recorded lectures of Srila Prabhupada and Guru. Again, devotees, I do not know, you are from voice, so you know this is mostly meant for Grihasthas, those who are not connected with any brahmacharis mostly. Hearing Srila Prabhupada lecture is so important. When I reported to Radhesham Prabhu that I am hearing Radhanath Maharaj lecture like this, Radhanath Prabhuji told me that you should hear Prabhupada lectures. And 2 years I heard only Prabhupada lectures. Only Prabhupada lectures. Daily 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours, sometimes 1.5 hours, but average 2 hours. Only Prabhupada lecture. And that made me very strong. We should always give priority to temple satsang. What does it mean? It means that today was the lecture of Giriraj Maharaj in the NVCC, and I had one option of hearing some great lecture of some great devotee who is somewhere else, not in Pune, and giving an online class. And at the same time, we have Giriraj Maharaj lecture here. So please attend this lecture. This recording you can hear any other time. The person who is giving the class should be in front of you. not somewhere who is in the remote place. This is very important. Also, prefer personal satsang over recorded satsang. This is what I said. So going to temple and hearing Bhagavatam from even a new devotee who is allowed to give Bhagavatam is more important than hearing somebody, great devotees, pre-recorded lecture or online lecture from somewhere. You can hear that any other time. I'm not saying that you should not hear that, but this is the time to hear temple Bhagavatam. If you cannot come, then what can be done? You can hear online also. And this is very important from my priority to hear from a person who knows you personally and can interact with you during your lecture. Suppose the person who is giving lecture, we should always hear regularly from that person who knows you by name. Some devotee is there in US and he is giving some wonderful class and you are hearing and you are saying, I get inspiration from this person is very good. But at the same time, you should have a person here who knows you personally and he can interact with you. He comes to you after the lecture and asks you, Prabhuji, how was the lecture? And what did you learn from this? So this is very important. Often devotee feel that, and I want to hear that because he had 1 million likes and 3 million like and 30K comments like that. So yes, they are good. They should listen to that. But we should not fail to listen from these persons who are next to us. I heard a very nice joke which depicts this point. One brahmachari liked it very much, so I am quoting it again. So I will tell this in Hindi. एक टेलर आता है और शहर में टेलरिंग का दुकान शुरू करता है, उसके ऊपर बोर्ड लगाता है कि शहर का सबसे बड़ा टेलर, प्रमोशनल एक्टिविटी बोलकर. उसके बाद कुछ दिनों बाद और एक टेलर आता है, उसके बाजू ही दुकान खोलता है, तो उसको पता नहीं अभी क्या लिखना है. इसमें तो शहर का सबसे बड़ा टेलर लिख दिया है. व्हाट शुड आई राइट? He said, राज्य का सबसे बड़ा, जिले का सबसे बड़ा टेलर. Then third tailor comes. He says, what should I write? He says, राज्य का सबसे बड़ा टेलर. Then चौथा आता है, वो सोचता है अभी क्या लिखना है, वो बोलता है दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा टेलर. पांचवा आता है, he doesn't know what to write. Then he clicks, something clicks to him. He says, गली का सबसे बड़ा टेलर. And all of them are one after the other. So sometimes we feel that, hearing a devotee, great devotee who is in Chennai or who is in Gurgaon or who is in Maldives is very important. Yes, they may be important, but we should hear your local devotees who knows you. Because गली का सबसे बड़ा टेलर तो सभी को बीट कर दिया उसने उधर. So I personally say that Grihastha should sing one bhajan daily. You should find time for bhajan. Maybe when you are driving car or when you have really good time. Then this is very important. Reciting one chapter of Bhagavad Gita. I learned this in ILS. Vaishnavas Prabhu told that you should read Bhagavad Gita one chapter daily. This will get rid of all the offenses you have committed for that day. If you can't read louder, if it takes time more than 7 minutes, you can read it in mind also. Bhagavad Gita. Of course, this donating one salary. And this is my favorite. So I will take more question answers if you want some more practical things. So chanting, there are 4 types of chanting. One is intentionally inattentive. Intentionally inattentive means what? जान बूझकर हम मोबाइल पे है या कुछ काम कर रहे. Another is unintentional inattentive. यानी मन घूम रहा है इधर उधर, हम कुछ कर रहे नहीं है एक्सटर्नल एक्टिविटी, बट मन घूम रहा है. Another is, third is intentional attentive. हम बहुत प्रयत्न कर रहे हैं, we are trying our best to focus the mind on chanting. That is intentional attentiveness. And fourth is for Paramahamsas, unintentional attentive chanting. But we are in the first stage, at least I am in the first stage, and intentionally inattentive. जानबूझकर बीड बैग हाथ में लेते कुछ ना कुछ. I go for a ride, my mind goes for a ride, or I pick up mobile or something I do like this. Then what is qualified as a good chanting? First is that it should be done in Brahma Muhurta. That chanting which is done in Brahma Muhurta is the best chanting. And for us, between 5:30 to 7:30, somehow or other you should find time for this. And if you are not able to, please pray for Krishna, and that should be your first goal in life. 5:30 to 7:30 should be my 16 round. ये बीच में कहीं तो भी करना है. 2 घंटा लगता है तो ये 2 घंटे में, नहीं लगता है 2 घंटा तो कभी भी 1.5 घंटा, 6 से 7:30 बोलो, कभी भी बोलो, whatever. In association of devotee, somehow you should get association of devotees. Wife is not considered devotee here. You should come with some devotee, some group of devotees should come together, or at least Zoom पे तो आ जाओ आजकल. This is not good, but it is okay. Something is better than nothing. At a stretch में जैसे ही बेड बैग में हाथ डाला, पहले माला का पहला मंत्र बोला, तो हमारा चैंटिंग स्टार्ट हुआ. हमारी बेड बैग में से हाथ तभी निकलना चाहिए जब 16वें माला का 108वां मंत्र हम बोलेंगे. ऐसा नहीं करना है कि 4 सुबह, 4 शाम, 4 रात को, 4 इवनिंग को, ऐसे नहीं करना है. विदाउट एक्सटर्नल डिस्ट्रैक्शन, कुछ भी नहीं करना है, कुछ काम नहीं करना है, कुछ मोबाइल नहीं, कुछ मेल नहीं, नथिंग, नॉट इवन गोइंग आउटसाइड एंड वॉचिंग some devotees doing jogging or some society people playing badminton or something, and of course loudly and clearly. And then comes how is the quality of chanting. These are the external factors that contribute to quality. I will skip this. If you want, I can do this later. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you so much. So if there are any questions you have, practical application, I can take that in person here only.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, you can remove this. I will do at my end. Gallery. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class.
May I know who is speaking, Prabhu? Just a minute. Yes, Sunil Kumar.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, Sunil Kumar, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, in the 6 items which you showed, which are essential for Grihastha life. So, in family section, you had mentioned that don't be a creature of wife.
I didn't get you, bro. Can you speak clearly, please?
Yeah, in the family section, where you mentioned that we have to take care for a balanced Grihastha life.
Okay.
So there was one point that don't be a preacher of wife.
Oh, okay.
But at the same time, we hear from Bhagavatam, it can do that sloka. Also, the sloka was here, that Guru Nasasya Janani.
Yes.
So, how to understand this?
Yes, it's very simple too. When Bhagavatam is saying that I cannot become a pati if I cannot deliver my wife, right? I don't have right to become her husband. And you are asking question that if this is said in Bhagavatam, how can you say that I should not preach to my wife? That is the question, right? So first thing is that even if I preach, I have to understand that I am not delivering my wife. How the wife is getting delivered? Because I am connecting him to Guru and Krishna. And Krishna and Guru will deliver him, and not me. So when I say that I don't have to preach my wife, it means that guide her to a good Mataji, and let Mataji, and you, what you do, you just behave very nicely with your wife. And your wife should think that, oh, my husband is such a wonderful devotee person. He is so loving, caring to me. Mere sab baat manta hai. And then some Mataji, you should try to meet that, some or other arrange meeting with those people and make friendship with them. And that Mataji will take care of your, that wife. And this is the meaning that if I start preaching directly, the ego hurt ho jata hai wife ka. So ego hurt hua, to then she will not listen to you. And the whole show is spoiled because wife is only one. No? If I go outside for preaching and there are hundreds of devotees, and if I preach to some devotee, that devotee felt offended, he will go. But other 99 are there. ये मम्मी है, पप्पा है, ये भाई है, वाइफ है, ये अकेले एक ही है. ये अगर गुस्सा कर दिया तो हमारा पूरा लाइफ स्पॉइल हो जाएगा. और वो कोई माता जी कुछ बोलेंगे, उसको गुस्सा हो गया तो आके आपके पास ही कंप्लेंट करेंगे, देखो ना वो माता जी कैसी है, वो प्रभु जी कैसे, कुछ भी बोलते हैं. हमको बोलने हैं हाँ कुछ भी बोलते हैं, जान दे, छोड़ दे, मैं दूसरे के पास लेके जाता हूँ तेरे को, दूसरी वो अच्छी माता जी, उनसे बात करेंगे. Like that. So got the point, Prabhu?
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhuji is asking, Sri Mohan Prabhu is asking, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, at home not having association, how to complete chanting in morning? So first thing is that if we are not having association, we should lament that I am not having association. And our endeavors, our consciousness, our desire should all be filled up with this thought that how can I get association? How can I get association of devotees? There are two types of ways. There are two ways where we don't get the association. One is we are staying at a place where there are no devotees. Another is we are staying in amongst the devotees, but we are not associating with the devotees. Like I am staying in Barsana, but if I am not associating with wonderful devotees like Anuj Prabhu, then what is the use? Then I am not getting association. तो अगर मैं इन दोनों केस में मुझे एसोसिएशन नहीं मिल रहा है तो मुझे क्या करना चाहिए? मेरा ये हैंकरिंग होना चाहिए, मेरे सारे डिजायर्स, मेरा सारा चित्त, मेरा सारा कॉन्शियसनेस शुड बी थिंकिंग ओनली वन थिंग, हाउ कैन आई गेट एसोसिएशन ऑफ डिवोटी। और उसी तरह से मेरे पूरे प्रयत्न होने चाहिए, वो आज नहीं तो कल मिलेगा। प्रभुपाद स्ट्रगल टू फॉलो द मिशन ऑफ हिज गुरु फॉर 45 ईयर्स। 45 ईयर सक्सेस नहीं मिला, लेकिन आपको ये एसोसिएशन नहीं मिल रहा है तो कभी ना कभी तो मिलेगा ही, अगर कृष्णा से प्रार्थना करेंगे, आपके कॉन्शियसनेस में वो है तो। अभी तब तक क्या करें, ये सवाल है अभी कि तब तक क्या करें। तब तक क्या करें कि हमको क्या करना चाहिए, जब भी मौका मिले संडे फीस आना चाहिए, हफ्ते में एक बार तो आके चैंटिंग कर सकते हैं हम डिवोटी के साथ। और आजकल ये जूम ने बहुत ही आसान कर दिया है सब कुछ। जूम पे तो आपकी काउंसलर को रिक्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं या कोई डिवोटीज ग्रुप एक साथ आ सकता है, और जूम पे वीडियो ऑन रख के चैंटिंग करना है हमको। अभी देखो, अगेन आई टोल्ड यू दैट आई एम नॉट ऑफेंडिंग एनीबडी, नॉट क्रिटिसाइजिंग एनीबडी, but abhi we are all together, but we have not switched on our video, so how can we get association? एक तो पहले जूम पे ही है, जूम पे होने के बावजूद भी अगर हम वीडियो ऑन नहीं कर रहे तो वी आर नॉट गेटिंग एसोसिएशन। तो सी, जूम का एसोसिएशन कैन नॉट रिप्लेस द एक्चुअल एसोसिएशन, बट स्टिल इट्स ए बेटर अल्टरनेटिव इन द गिवन सिचुएशन। तो वहां पे आके हमको एक साथ जूम पे भी अगर जब करेंगे हम तो हमको फायदा होगा, वो वाइब्रेशंस आएंगे डिवोटी से। ये क्या लगता है, अगर सपोज देखो अभी मैं ना ये वीडियो ऑन कर दिया मेरा और मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, ऐसा लग रहा है आकाशवाणी हो रहा है। वो जो कंस के वो यशोदा की उसमें है ना, ऐसा कोई उसका फेस नहीं दिख रहा है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं दिख रहा है कि वो आकाश में से आवाज आ रहा है। तो इट्स नॉट गुड दैट वी कीप। और वीडियो ऑफ तो आपने देखा होगा जब ये ऑनलाइन कॉलेजेस में स्कूल्स में चलता था, हमारे कॉलेज में तो बहुत टीचर्स ने कंप्लेन किया है कि बच्चे क्या, बहुत डिवोटी क्या करते हैं, सुबह उठते ही उनको हमने बोला है 5:30 से 7:30 चैंटिंग आना है, तो वो 5:30 बजे आ जाते हैं, लेकिन जैसे उठते हैं लॉग इन कर देते हैं, ऑडियो वीडियो ऑफ करके फिर सो जाते हैं। फिर कभी कभी 6-6:30 बजे उठ जाते हैं, फिर नहाते हैं, सब करते हैं, और फिर 7-7:20 आके वीडियो ऑडियो ऑन करके ऐसे बैठ जाते हैं जैसे मानो 2 घंटे से जब कर रहे हो। तो कुछ भक्तों ने बोला, क्योंकि मैं जब शुरू कर देता हूँ 5:30 बजे तो मेरी आंख बंद कर देता हूँ, डायरेक्ट 7:30 बजे खोलता हूँ मैं। तो मुझे किसी भक्त ने बताया, प्रभु जी लोगों को पता चल गया वो, तो जैसे आप 5-7:25 को आंख खोलते तो सब अपने वीडियो ऑन करके बैठ जाते। तो मुझे मेरे सामने ऐसा करने से कोई फायदा होने वाला नहीं है किसी को। तो मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ प्रभु जी कि अगर एसोसिएशन नहीं मिल रहा है तो एसोसिएशन लेने के तरीके हैं आज भी। फोन पे बात कर सकते हैं, जूम मीटिंग पे बात कर सकते हैं डिवोटी से, एक साथ आके रीडिंग कर सकते हैं, एक साथ आके हियरिंग कर सकते हैं, तो उसका हम फायदा ले सकते हैं। I used to work in shifts, so sometimes chanting is not possible in morning. Then what should be our mood while chanting in a day? Yes, hanker that I want to chant. मैं कुछ तो मिस कर रहा हूँ, मैं बहुत गिल्टी फीलिंग आना चाहिए हमको, ये फीलिंग आना, we should feel that I am not, my sadhana is not up to the expectation, up to the standards. At least this repentance will take us ahead. How can we mold our nature to become a good listener and apply instruction given by authorities, senior counselor? By becoming a good listener. How to become a good listener? By becoming a good listener. And how to apply instruction given by authorities? By applying the instruction given by the authorities. Yes, answer. Once Bhakti Rasamrut Maharaj was giving class in Kunjbihari, and Maharaj was telling the importance of getting up early and chanting. One devotee asked, Maharaj, how to get up in the morning? Early morning. Maharaj answer was to get up by getting up in the morning. 4 बजे कैसे उठना है? 4 बजे उठ के उठना है। अगर हमने बोला 4 बजे कैसे उठना है तो हम क्या आंसर देते हैं? रात को जल्दी सोना है। तो फिर अगला सवाल आता है, महाराज रात को जल्दी कैसे सोना है? महाराज बोलते हैं कि कम खाना चाहिए, जल्दी खाना चाहिए। महाराज कम कैसे खाना है, जल्दी कैसे खाना है? तो you have to break that there itself. How to do nice chanting? By nicely chanting. How to apply senior's instruction? By applying senior's instruction. How to cultivate the nice mood? By cultivating nice mood. Yes, Prabhuji. Any other question? What is the name? Tarun Kanti Krishna Das क्या? अच्छा, very special name. How many of you are married? Those who are not in Pune, how they can get shelter of Grihastha counselor? So if you are staying in your place, there may be a Grihastha counselor. You can take his shelter there. And also at the same time, be in contact with your counselor. And अभी हमारे ग्रुप में ना अनफॉर्चुनेटली क्या हो रहा है, 27 डिवोटी है जो पुणे में नहीं है. Told you, somebody in Australia, some in US, and some in Singapore, some in London, somebody is in Chennai, गुड़गांव, ऐसे. तो मैंने उनका एक ऑनलाइन ग्रुप बनाया, उधर मीटिंग लेते हैं हम, लेकिन उधर वीडियो ऑन कंपलसरी है, तो सब लोग वीडियो ऑन करके बैठते हैं. तो इस तरह से रह सकते हैं. काउंसलर के मेन है ना एसोसिएशन, यानी क्या है पता है क्या आपको? एसोसिएशन यानी बाजू खंडे को खंडे लगाने को बैठने को एसोसिएशन नहीं बोलते उसको. वो भी हो सकता है एसोसिएशन. ददाति प्रति गृणाति गुह्यम आख्याति पृच्छति भुंक्ते भोजयते चैव षड्विधा प्रीति लक्षणम, ये है एसोसिएशन. उनसे सवाल पूछना, उनको हमारा रिपोर्ट करना कि प्रभु जी मेरा चैंटिंग नहीं हो रहा है अच्छी तरह से, मुझे कुछ मार्गदर्शन कीजिए. उसको ऐसे सवाल मत पूछिए जिसका उसके पास भी सॉल्यूशन नहीं है. मेरा सुबह ऑफिस, तो रात को 3 बजे से सुबह 12 बजे तक ऑफिस रहता है, बताइए आप कैसे चैंटिंग करूं? वो क्या बोलेगा बेचारा? उसको ये बताइए कि मेरा अटेंटिव चैंटिंग नहीं हो रहा है तो मैं कैसे करूं, मुझे सुबह 6 बजे उठना नहीं हो रहा है तो मैं कैसे करूं. वो आपको इंस्पायर करेगा, वो बताएगा आपको क्या करना है. तो एसोसिएशन अगर गृहस्थ काउंसलर जो पुणे में नहीं है तो किसी भी गृहस्थ काउंसलर से कनेक्ट हो जाइए और उसको रिपोर्ट कीजिए. रिपोर्टिंग करना, गुह्यम आख्याति पृच्छति, यानी उसको ये सवाल, गुह्य सवाल पूछना है कि मेरा पूरा, जब डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं, व्हेन वी गो टू अ डॉक्टर, वी हैव टू टेल द डॉक्टर द रियल स्टोरी, क्या हो रहा है. एक बार मेरे सर में बहुत दर्द दे रहा था, एंड फॉर इयर्स इट वाज पेनिंग, एंड when doctor told that you take this there must be migraine or you take this migraine tablets, और उसके पास नहीं हुआ, अगर 15 दिन में वापस आ रहा है, if it's coming again and again within 2 weeks time, then we will see what to do. And I knew in my heart that he will ask me to have brain MRI. ये 31st जुलाई की, just 5 months back. And then I told her मैं जाऊंगा ही नहीं डॉक्टर के पास अभी. 1 महीने का उसको बोलूंगा, सर ने my head is not paining and I don't and I will take some tablets. But लेकिन my other mind told no, I have to go. And again 15 दिन में फिर हेडेक हुआ मुझे, और 4 दिन चला वो, 4 days. Then I went to doctor. Then doctor told me that if it is there, we have to do brain MRI. And then he said, you do it anytime. अभी 10-15 दिन में कर लो. मेरा नहीं, आज अभी इसी वक्त. Immediately I went, and fortunately within 45 minutes my report also came. It was all okay. But कहने का मतलब क्या है कि डॉक्टर के पास जाने के बाद पूरी पोल खोलनी है हमारी. उसी तरह से जब काउंसलर के पास जाते हैं तो पूरी पोल खोलनी है हमारी, हम क्या करते हैं. Otherwise he will not be able to guide us. So that is the meaning of having counselors association. Counselors association means ये नहीं कि दोनों बाजू प्रसाद खाना भी है, लेकिन जब whenever you come to Pune, have association with him, invite him for prasadam. While looking for matches, sometimes it feels consciousness is getting degraded while looking for profiles. How to take this in right mood? By taking it in right mood. Yes, ये बहुत consciousness खराब होता है. I do agree with it, and there is no doubt about it. And we have to go through this process. But how to keep this right mood? You know the philosophy. And Zoom session, ये Zoom session ने पूछा है हमको सवाल. So we have to do right. We have to keep the right mood. Yes. अभी क्या हो रहा है पर्सनली हम बात कर सकते हैं. अगर आपको कोई सवाल है तो we can talk in person about this. Yes, Prabhuji. Anyone else has any other question? Yes, it is very difficult. I do agree. What does it mean by this showing off behavior? How can we discriminate between real and showing off behavior to act properly? Yeah, there is one more question before that. But I do agree with you, Prabhuji, that this right mode रखना बहुत थोड़ा difficult होता है. So I think personally, अगर बात करते तो I can talk to you something if I can help. You told we have to be sincerely humble in front of Guru counselor. Sometimes we show to get appreciation of the humbleness from our Guru. What does it mean by this showing of behavior? How we can discriminate between real and show of behavior to act properly? So your question is, Prabhuji, if I have understood. So we do behave humbly in front of Guru, means our seniors, to get their appreciation. Now, what is your question? What does it mean by show of behavior? Show of behavior means, suppose है ना, अभी जैसे मैंने आपको बोला कि for example मैं chanting को बोलता हूँ devotee को आने को, I told them to come at 5:30, they do come at 5:30, but 7:25 को video on करते because they know that I will be opening my eyes and I will sing at all the videos. So this is show off. Then some disciples, they come to temple only when their Guru is in Pune for Mangala Arati. And the Guru thinks, oh, my disciple has come for Mangala Arati, so he must be coming daily. And there can be many, many examples. So this is the meaning of show off. Showing off what you do or not. So one sample behavior is done so wonderfully so that our seniors take it as a general behavior. Coming once a while when Guru is in the temple for Mangala Arati, Guru gets a feeling that my disciple is coming 365 days. So that doesn't mean that we should not come when Guru has come, because to be honest, Guru, abhi 364 days nahi aaj bhi nahi aata hu. See, I am very honest. And that is nirlajja. So we have to come, but we have to frankly tell the Guru that Guru, मैं आज ही आ रहा हूँ, आप आए इसलिए, लेकिन मैं नहीं आ पा रहा हूँ रोज. I am not able to come. That at least we have to tell. Yes, any other question, Prabhu? Anuj Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Any other questions, devotees?
One thing I must admit before before we close or thing, I am lower than all of you in all the aspects, and I want to improve myself. So I thought that by telling you, I can instruct myself, because it is said now, the best thing, what is that slogan? If anybody knows that proverb, that the best thing you can tell to others is what you want to improve. Something like this, much better phrase than this. So I am telling you those things which I personally feel that I should improve. So I am lower than all of you. You are very nice devotees, nicely trained. Somebody is asking, Sri Mohan Prabhu, where is Sri Mohan Prabhu? Sri Mohan Prabhu ने Google डाल दी मेरे को. कहाँ गए Sri Mohan Prabhu? Where is his name? Yes, Sri Mohan Prabhu, I got your name.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you. So Prabhuji, with all humility, and Prabhupada photo is in my front, I try to get up at around 3:30 daily AM in the morning, and I am able to sleep around 5.5 hours daily. For example, yesterday I slept at 11 because we went to meeting, and then there was some marriage ceremony in my wife's Maika. So I had to attend that, and we came and it took 11, and I got up at 4 AM today. So, and then 1 hour I read. First thing I do is 1 hour I do reading Bhagavatam, because then in the afternoon it is very difficult and it get disturbed. So then I get ready and go to Mangala Arati, And then 7:25 I start, come at home 7:30. Then 7:30 to 8, I do DT worship at home. I have Jagannath at my place. Most of the time, me and my wife does. Sometimes I alone is there because she has to do some other work. Thursday, I don't do dressing because I have Thursday dressing in the temple. And then I do some stretching exercise and I reach temple by 8:20 again. That's why I go later after the kirtan. And then I attend Bhagavatam, come home at 9:30 again, have lunch and go to office. Then I come home at around 6:15. But somehow I take out time after that, or in the afternoon, I manage 2 hours of reading and 2 hours of hearing. 2 hours of hearing daily. I do sing one bhajan daily. And I do DT worship 3 times. 2 times I have Mangal Arti, Seva, and 1 DT worship. And I take one program on Sunday evening, that is today 6:30. Online, around 40 devotees attend from all over. These are all mostly new only. And Saturday we have counseling meeting. We have 3-4 groups. So we have one combined meeting and 3 other meeting, 3 small groups meeting, other in smaller groups. One is online, one is junior, one is senior, like that. And one is all counselors. Those who have become counselors and those who are likely to become counselors. There's another group. And around by Krishna's blessing, Prabhupada's blessing, around 12 hours I can spend directly in Krishna conscious activities daily. Direct. Either reading, hearing, or making PPTs or chanting. I chant 32 rounds daily. And somehow I find time also. By Krishna's blessing, Krishna has placed me in such a wonderful position by your all prayers. Of course, my age is in my favor. And I don't know whether, but therefore my plan is to complete my 2 hours reading in the morning itself before going to Mangalarti, so that in the afternoon it's very difficult to find time. And how this was possible? Simply because I decided to do it. This is what I got inspiration from Bhakti Rasamrut Maharaj. How to do it? Because we have to do it. Otherwise, we will be never able to do it. I do recite selected shlokas from Prabhupada books, around 25. Read 1 chapter of Bhagavad Gita daily, means shloka. Read 1 chapter of Bhagavatam shloka daily. And also 1 Chaitanya Charitamrita, 50 shloka. And 1 bhajan. So this, and I am reporting to Radhesham Prabhu since 4 years, my sadhana. And I get some, I am working now on Bhagavad Gita PPTs, 4 chapters are over. And I have started Bhagavatam PPTs also, chapter wise. Because Bhagavatam has 335 chapters. So it's, if you take shloka wise, nobody can learn that. So chapter wise, we are preparing that. And one, just a very new devotee, but my colleague in my office, one of the dean, is wonderfully doing my PPTs there. So this is this, and I have a lot of scope for improvement. I'm not doing Gaur Aarti at home. I'm not doing dressing at home. My wife is doing the dressing. I do DT worship for half an hour daily, and I want to improve my quality of reading because I want to do it in the early morning hours. I'm not able to get up so early to do 2 hours of chanting. I'm struggling with that. And I want to reduce my sleep also to 4 hours. But I don't know whether I will be able to do that. Maybe Anuj Prabhu will pray for me and I will be able to do. You all bless me and pray for me, and I want to do that. But at the same time, please pray for me that I don't fall down from this. If I'm telling you, so there should not be any pride in my heart. And because of that, I fall down. And I don't do anything from tomorrow. Thank you, Prabhuji. Sri Mohan Prabhu, please bless me and pray for me. Sometimes mind think it's not practically possible, but no, I think if we are sincere, then Krishna can just do it just by, no, not by me seeing me. I have learned it after 25 years and you can do it much better. And you should, yes, that is very, 2 things are very important. I am telling you by my both professional and spiritual experience. 2 things are very important. One is always finding positive things even in the worst of the negative things in life. And my office deans and heads, my subordinates bolo ya colleagues bolo, they say that one quality you have in you is that you find positive things even in the worst of the situation. So this is what has helped me a lot right from my childhood. Maybe this is my inherent quality. I have never developed it. That is one. Second thing is that what we should do all, which I am not doing, is that we should always set our standards high and always repent that we are not coming to that. If we set a lower benchmark, then we are always happy, but set a higher benchmark always. And third is, it can be done only by doing it, not by discussions, not by anything else, any management, learning any tools, techniques, strategies, no, by doing it. I am not good at book distribution. I am not good at book fund collection. I am not good at administration also, management also. I am there in the temple management, but I am not a good manager. I don't like that much. I am not a good dirty dressing. ज़्यादा कुछ skill नहीं है मुझ में. I am not very good at it. So I need your blessings and your prayers so that I can improve these, and I set very high standards in this area also. Book distribution, there are devotees who are distributing 1 lakh books. Devotees collecting like Jaydev Prabhu 1 crore rupees per year. So in front of that, my contribution is less than peanuts. Then I do have a bad habit of cracking a lot of jokes. When I am in devotee circles, in casual discussions, I only crack jokes and devotees are all laughing. इतने jokes मारता हूं मैं. 1 घंटा अगर कहीं कार में travel करे तो I only crack jokes. So that I have to overcome that habit. I should be little serious. Then I have no control over my eating. I want still to eat very, very, what you say, very, very spicy food. I like mirchi bhaji. I love tadka. I like to eat pizza. I like kachi dabeli. I like pani puri. I like biryani. I like paneer biryani. So much. So this I have to overcome. Then there are many, many bad qualities which I have to improve. Some of them I have shared with you. Also, when I am reading, I am not taking notes properly. I am just doing reading. I am not making. Radhesham Prabhu has just 3 days back. He's in USA now. He has replied. Within half an hour, he replied to my mail. He said, now, Prabhu, RasaVigraha Prabhu, you have to take serious notes of your Bhagavatam when you are reading Bhagavatam. So he told me, he sent me some golden purports, attachment, 2 attachments he had sent me. And he told me that refer to Bhagavad Subodhini and read that. Use that while reading and focus on these golden purports and make notes and show me, he told me. So I have a tough task to do that. I'm not doing that. I'm just reading as we read novel, story. I'm not, when I give some classes, I just waste devotees' time because I don't speak anything relevant to them. That is what I have found out. And I have never taken any efforts to learn mridang, kartal, or some singing, because I am worst of the singers. Normally, people don't like other singing, but I am the one who don't like my singing also. And I am not able to play simple kartal tunes also after 25 years of Krishna consciousness, because I have never taken it seriously. I have never dedicated time for that. I am not good at shloka recitation also. How many times I have tried, but I don't learn shlokas. Even in the night, I sometimes delay a lot of time in just, 9 to 10. My time goes like that only, not doing anything. I neither sleep nor I do some study. So instead of sleeping at 9 p.m., I sleep at 10 p.m. So that's the problem. And then sometimes in the afternoon, there's a typical time for me in the afternoon, 1 to 2 p.m. Then I feel like dozing, So there are many improvements I have to do. And if you can pray for me, all of you, then I can come back to you that I have improved upon this. Yes, Anuj Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I have never felt so speechless in my life hearing your schedule. So being in such a position, but you are every day reading 2 hours every day, but like it sounds like very impossible. So Prabhuji,
This,
like
this is possible because Radheshyam Prabhu has been guiding me, and he is guiding me because I am sending him. So if you want to know, just for because we are all learning, that when I used to send my initial report to Radheshyam Prabhu, it was only 15 minutes reading. And I always thought that how can I find more than 15 minutes? Never. It's impossible. But now I am saying that there is a lot of time, but I don't have desire to read. Of course, I know your situation may not be that good as mine is. Krishna has a lot of blessings upon me. But I have started from 15 minutes. Somebody is asking this. Can we follow this 4 hours sleep? Because once I tired, but I was feeling tired entire day, like health issues were coming. Yes, my wife always shouts at me. Sometimes she sees me getting up at 2:33, and I go in my hall and start reading, and she noticed that I'm not there. She comes out and sees me reading, and she shouts at me. And but now she has stopped shouting because she says he is beyond improvement. And when I told this to my dietitian, she also shouted at me, that Mataji. Then, but one good thing was I went to my family doctor, who is a very senior, very brilliant doctor, very extraordinary doctor, very senior also, very learned also. I asked him, Doctor, Marathi mein I asked him, Doctor, 6 तास झोप पुरे का 5 तास? He said, Modi 4 घंटे सोते. So I told all of these people, see, doctor is agreeing with this. So doctor says, somebody, even one senior counselor told me, if you don't sleep, if you sleep less, you will get this diabetes and other things. I was scared really, because I knew that if we do not follow some schedule today, tomorrow we will land in trouble. And I've seen many devotees landing in trouble. But my doctor told me, कुछ नहीं होता है. आपका नींद नहीं होना चाहिए ऐसा नहीं है, आपका नींद रिड्यूस करना है आपको. जैसे खाने में है ना, if you are used to 4 chapatis, then you cannot suddenly start eating 1 chapati from tomorrow. There is one devotee, Sri Radha Kunbihari Prabhu in RKBM, you know him, very senior brahmachari. He eats only murmura, muri, lunch, breakfast, dinner, only muri. So I used to sleep 8 hours, but slowly, you have to reduce. And when your schedule becomes spiritual, your sleep reduces. That is true. So now you don't target 4 hours. If you are sleeping, suppose, I'm just giving an example, Dev Jyoti Prabhu, just giving an example. If you are sleeping, suppose 7 hours now, you try 6:45 minutes, 6 hours 45 minutes.
Yes, bro.
For 1 year, and then make it 6. But you are young. How old are you?
Prabhuji, I'm 25 right now.
You are very young, Prabhu. For this for you to try this, see, don't do this. See, please understand. At your age, I was very foolish. I was not into Krishna consciousness. You are wearing tilak today, and Dev Jyoti means it is initiated name or what?
No, Prabhuji, I'm not initiated right now.
Okay, but it is more than initiated name. So you are in a much better position. So you are playing the 3rd ball of your inning, and I have played 110 balls. And now I'm hitting 4s and 6s. So you should not try to follow me, and you will get out otherwise.
Yes,
Rohit Sharma is playing from the 1st over, and we are into 40th over. And Rohit Sharma has played 110 ball and scored 170 runs. And he's now hitting every ball to 4 and 6. And the other batsman who has just joined, 7 for 4 or 5 down, and he has played 2 balls, and he's trying to hit 4, and he's getting out. So you should not think. Even devotees think that way. Oh, Prabhuji, you have car, you have such a big house, you are wearing blazer. And मेरे पास तो कुछ नहीं है. And you are 25 years old. At that time मैं तो फकीर था. मेरे पास तो चटाई भी नहीं थी उस समय.
Yes.
So please understand your age, my age. your situation, my situation. You are not yet married. Your wife will come in your home and you will have more challenges. I will just crack 2 jokes and stop. एक बंदा मिलिट्री में जाता है डिफेंस का इंटरव्यू देने, तो वो मिलिट्री मैन पूछता है उसको, आपको क्यों लगता है कि आप मिलिट्री ज्वाइन कर पाओगे? क्या क्वालिटीज लगते हैं मिलिट्री में, पता है आपको? वो बोलता है नहीं सर, नहीं पता है मुझे, बताइए। तो बोलता है आपकी नजर तेज होनी चाहिए। शत्रु अगर 1 बोले तो आपको 10 बोलना चाहिए। कभी पीछे ना हटने की वृत्ति होनी चाहिए। हरदम शक की नजर होनी चाहिए। किसी को कभी भी कंपैशन ही बतानी नहीं है। सहानुभूति कभी बताई नहीं है। कंपैशन तो बताई नहीं है। और एक बार अगर किसी को शत्रु समझ लिया तो उसको जिंदगी भर शत्रु समझना चाहिए। एक कदम भी पीछे हटना नहीं चाहिए। ऐसे बहुत कुछ बोलता है वो बेचारा, बोलता है सर एक्सक्यूज मी प्लीज, यस कैन माय वाइफ अप्लाई? When wife comes in life, there would be more challenges. So I'm married since last 30 years now. My son is grown up, 30 years old. He is independent. He also got married. He is in London now. He was in USA for 3 years, 4 years in India. And again, he has gone 2 months back in London. Will stay there for 2 years and come back. So I have been the director since 13 years now. Before that, I was the head and dean for 13 years, 1997 to 2010. And now 13 years the director. So my position is little different. So you have to wait for another 30 years to reach that situation. And if you plan properly, you will become more better than me. Right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So you will become much better than that. So you have to place the inning. Don't see Rohit Sharma today and start hitting like him. So always compare yourself with the immediate person. Now VIT is a college. If we start comparing with IIT, then there would be a problem. We have to compare with PICT.
Yes.
So you have to compare with your immediate friend. Of course, a good friend.
Yes.
Better friend, better devotee friend. And then you should take baby steps and go. But you should always keep the aim. But for that, therefore I told you 4 important steps. First is that you should get a good counselor. How can you get a good counselor? There is no rocket science in this. By becoming a good counselor. If you become a good counselor, you will always get a good counselor. The same counselor will turn up into a good counselor.
Yes.
So all human counselors are good only. Second is that you should, what is that I told? You should associate with devotees.
Yes.
Always be in association of devotees. Always in association of devotees. And therefore those dadati pratigurnati guhyam akhyati puchhati करना चाहिए. Devotee को बुलाओ, घर पे बुलाओ, उनसे secret खोलो, उनसे secret बात करो, उनके improvement की बात करो. Third is never offend devotee. ये simple rules है. Cricket में simple rule क्या है? Bowl wicket to wicket, rotate strike, build innings. All of you know cricket?
Yes.
I was a very fan of cricket. Now I have stopped watching altogether. I know what are the scores. Yesterday, India won by 8 wickets. I know everything because I see the headlines. So wicket to wicket, take singles, place your innings, build partnerships. Don't experiment too much. So ये जो क्रिकेट रूल है, वैसे क्या है ये रूल है? अच्छा काउंसलर ढूंढो, उससे ओपन होना है पूरी तरह से, ऑफेंसेस नहीं करना है डिवोटी से रिलेशन बिल्ट अप करना है, साधना स्ट्रांग रखना है, ऑलवेज हैंकर फॉर बेटर स्टैंडर्ड्स. There are 5-6 golden rules. If you do that, you will become a great cricketer. And cricketer भी over years बनता है. रोहित शर्मा, of course, Rohit Sharma is my favorite cricketer of today. I know him since 2007. 2007 में मोदी नहीं, क्या नाम है उसका, धोनी कैप्टन था, तो उसको कितनी चांसेस दिए. आज वो शर्मा बना है, थोड़ी एक दिन में बना है शर्मा वो. Even Surya Kumar Yadav after at the age of 34, he is not 22, he is 34. So similarly, all great devotees, I am not talking about devotees like Prabhupada, they have all struggled. and struggle करके बड़े बनते हैं. Prabhupada told one thing, I didn't plan ISKCON, this, it will take this form day one. No, I learned and adopted day by day. I change my plan every day. I see the situation. Of course, I had a great dream. I had a big dream. So you should have big dream. But you should plan this. Therefore, I started with my discussion by placing your inning.
Yes.
Now I am 50 plus. If this time I don't slog, then what is the use of batting for all 40 years? I get out.
Yes.
ऐसे बैट्समैन होते हैं ना, बॉल भी रन भी नहीं निकालते, बॉल भी बेस करते, तो उनको आउट कर दो बोले, पहले ये आउट है, लोग तालियां बजाते हैं, अच्छा हो गया. So if we do not slog at this time, then what's the use of batting for this 40 overs? Waste किया आपने time. Make sense, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. And thank you very much, Prabhuji, for sharing your schedule. It is very inspiring also.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I want to improve it and make it better, not in terms of quantity, but quality.
Especially your improvements plan is also inspiring, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much for you are inspiring me, all of you, especially Dev Jyoti Prabhu is now inspiring by his kind words. And if you can learn from anybody, whoever comes in your way.
Yes.
It's a great thing. And I will tell you, definitely, these are my two inherent qualities. One is that I always see very positive thing in very, 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 very awkward and very, very negative situations. Devastating situation, I have seen very positive things. And that is my nature. It's not that I have been trained. And second thing is I have always learned from everybody. And positive, not negative learnings. I mean, yes. Indra is showing how to not behave. I'm not saying that way. I am saying, and this quality definitely I have learned from Jayadev Prabhu. But it is also inherent in me. Jayadev Prabhu is such a great devotee. Prabhuji, you have invited Jayadev Prabhu on this forum?
Prabhuji was there in NS camp.
Jayadev Prabhu, he is more like a Vyakti Bhagavatam than a book Bhagavatam. Means you may not understand Jayadev Prabhu through his lectures.
Yes.
But you will understand Jayadev Prabhu more by living with him, by staying with him, by associating with him. He has gems of quality, means wonderful qualities. First thing is that he behaves with even a neophyte devotee as if he is his servant. And he is honestly behaving like that. He is not, making show. That is first great quality in him. I think we have exceeded time. Second, those who want to live, they can live. Second quality, there are many, many qualities, but second quality is such a great personality. He is a BTech from IIT in those days, 1971. He is 1947 born, 1969, sorry, 68, 69. He is such a rich person, maybe earning in crores, but he is akinchan. और शर्ट भी पहनते ना, टी शर्ट, बनियान, वो भूख सुराग रहते उसको. He can afford Mercedes, but he moves in that Swift, Maruti Swift. He can afford 10 driver like me, but he has not kept driver. Even when I insisted, and many devotees might have insisted, he just kept driver few years back. You will see him right, even Janmashtami day, you watch him right from 4 AM to night 2 PM. He is serving. He is never doing any time pass. खड़े रह के सेवा करते, बीच में आराम भी नहीं करते. 4 बजे से लेकर रात के 2 बजे तक जन्माष्टमी के दिन. You can see on any other day, but this is the longest period. And he is 70, कितना है आज? 75 years. At such age, he has such an energy. I asked him how you can do that. He says, because I know, I understand that first 45 years I could not do anything in Krishna consciousness because I was not a devotee. So I have very less time. So a batsman who has come for batting in the 45th over, तो उसके पास टाइम कम है. अगर ये मैच में परफॉर्म नहीं करे तो अगले मैच में निकाल देंगे. ऐसे कोई बैट्समैन होते हैं, उनको एक मैच के लिए लेते हैं स्टैंड. He says like that. He didn't say like that. It's I am adding. So he is doing like this only. Now he is occupied with some other duty, but he used to do dressing for 4 days. And in office, he used to read only Bhagavatam, 6 hours. So in front of his, what is I am? I am just, oh, बादाम है तो मैं फल्ली हूँ, मूंगफली, और वो भी सड़ा हुआ. वो तो कश्मीरी आलमंड्स है. अब कौन से आलमंड रहते मुझे पता नहीं. बेस्ट. So these are the two good qualities which I find in myself. And there are many faults, I have told them, and there are many more. And I am so dumb that I am not able to identify them even after 55 years. If I can identify, I can definitely improve. So I think we should stop, Anuj Prabhu. And thank you everyone. Deepak Prabhu, I can say Sunil Kumar Prabhu, Nag Sai Prabhu, then Mohit Prabhu is there. No, Dev Jyoti Prabhu was there. Acha, Braj Bihari Krishna Das. Okay. Our Barsana builder is Bihari Krishna Prabhu. Then Motorola Prabhu also. Motorola Moto G52 Prabhu also. Then Sarang Prabhu. Then Shobhit Prabhu is also there. Thank you so much. Deepak Prabhu, Mahesh Prabhu, Vaibhav Prabhu, Amit Kumar, ACD, I don't know what is. Prasad Prabhu, Pankaj Prabhu, Ashish Prabhu, Sri Mohan Prabhu, you also asked wonderful questions. Vishnu Rat Das, means Parikshit Maharaj, another name. Akshay Prabhu, Bhakti, Acha, Bhakti is Mataji or what? Bharat Prabhu also, yes, Mohit Prabhu also. Thank you so much. And above all, thank you to Mayur Prabhu also. Mayur Bhiste. Pratyaksha Prabhu. Oh, Pratyaksha, very nice name. Pratyaksha. And anybody, if I have forgotten his name, forgive me. And above all, thank you to Anuj Prabhu.
Thank you to
For hearing my nonsense for all
thank
this
you to
time.
Radhesham Prabhu and Antati Prabhu, Atma Rangaram Prabhu who have created this forum. And I'm just facilitating. And like we can see, like in your example, 21st century Bhakti Vinod Thakur, like and you have told about Jaydev Prabhu also. It was very inspiring. So like to thank you.
You should invite Jaydev Prabhu on this forum.
Yes, Prabhuji, definitely.
And for personal discussion, not for lecture.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Of course, you can invite him for lecture, but you will learn from him more when you discuss personally.
Yes, surely, Prabhuji. So I'd like to thank His Grace RasaVigraha Prabhu by loudly chanting Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Pranam, Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Follow in his footsteps.